All right, weekly update. Weekly update. Um, I actually kind of have two things to talk about today. One is an add-on to last week's, like how I feel I've been changing, and then the other is, I guess you could say, a really important moment for me, at least. One of many important moments. Um, First off, there was this moment this last Sunday where I was sitting down. Uh, I was sitting down at an open mic, and while I was sitting there, uh, I had smoked some weed, so I was just chilling, vibing out, thinking, watching another comedian on stage, and while I was sitting there watching her do her set, it clicked in my head. Probably because I was partly high, but I also come up with ideas when I'm high too, so that doesn't surprise me. But it clicked in my head in that moment when I was sitting there that that person that I was being in that moment, sitting there watching that open micer, uh, waiting for myself to go on as well. I think I was going on two or three more people after her. But as I sat there, it's like, oh, this feeling that I've been feeling where I can't really explain it. Like, this is me, right? Like it really clicked in my head in that moment that, oh, this is who I am. This person that I'm being right now, with my job, with comedy, with church, with being out at mics, with writing jokes and then going up on stage and trying out those jokes, with failing at doing that, with getting back up and trying again, with appreciating the moments where I actually get the audience to laugh, and accepting the moment of humility when I don't do well on stage. All of that's me. Like that's me. I understand that now. And when I think about when I worked in IT, so much of of the conflict between myself and my job was because I just that wasn't for me. It goes deeper than that wasn't for me. It's like the version of myself I had to be to do that job, and everything else about my life in that time, it just, no. It was disingenuous to who I was. And it makes a lot of sense because when I first started doing comedy, when I first started doing open mics, um, I would sometimes post on my Instagram story, uh, and then also when I would talk to people about it, I would say, like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but somehow, some way, going up late at night to an audience of 1 to 0 people in the crowd, and it's just me doing my jokes, or at least my best attempts at jokes. That felt more real and more purposeful to me than anything else I'd ever done, ever, like hands down. And so now that I'm getting close to 3 years, and I kept having this moment, this feeling of my life that I'm just like, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something changing. And then at that open mic on Sunday, it's like, oh, I am changing. I have changed. My life has changed. This is my life now. Like, this is the life. that I'm supposed to live. Like, this is my life. This is what I'm gonna do. Um, and so I'm happy with it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. I know it's a very old and worn out story to tell that there's people out there who live their lives in manners that just don't feel right. That they question their life, they question if this is what they're supposed to be doing, they question if if there's something more to it, if they're missing something, they feel like they're missing something but they don't know what it is, and I can honestly say that's not me. Like, it's unconventional, it's weird, it's different, yeah, but like, this is the life I'm supposed to live. Now, how how this life I'm supposed to live works with also me wanting to have a family, a wife and kids, and my desire to also be financially successful, right? With comedy, um, I have no idea. Those are problems I need to figure out at some point in the future. Uh, and I know this is a long road, and I don't expect to. I said this to a friend of mine, but I am skeptical that there is no one skeptical of what I am doing. So, to some degree, I feel I have something to prove. Like, I really do. If not to no one else, then at the very least to myself. Like, I don't want to live in a van forever. I really don't. It's nice. It works. The upgrades have helped tremendously, definitely. Um, and it has its perks. It definitely has its perks, for sure. There's moments where I'm just like, dang, dude, I live in a van. It's actually kind of cool. Um, Mainly with just saving money, like cost of living. I've heard from other people around me at work and family and friends and stuff that that cost of living right now sucks, and I'm ducking all of it. I really am. And praise be to God, you know, like, God was part of the reason that I moved into a van. You know, it just like perfect time, perfect place, perfect opportunity. It just everything just lined up perfectly. Like, when my lease was supposed to end, and when this van went on sale, and when I quit my job, and when I was in a place where I'd quit my job, my lease was ending, the van was available, and I started comedy in San Antonio. And then the van that I got too, like, this is a really nice van. Like, Vanessa's a very nice van. I see other vans that go on sale, and I see vans that are being driven around. I'm like, dang, dude, like, and then how old she is too. She's over 20 years old, and she runs great. No major issues. You know, here and there. I've run into a few problems here and there, but nothing that I'd call a deal breaker. And here I am, 2 years later, in Vanessa. Like, all of that, just the timing of it. Like, if I'd quit my job a month later, right? If this van had gone on sale a month later, if I'd signed my lease a month later, right? Like, it was stressful, no doubt. But it was perfect. It just worked out perfectly. And things like that, it's like, all right, you know, there's the rationalistic side of my mind that wants to be like, all right, let's be rational about this, and let's just look at these things as, like, you know, a convenient series of coincidences that allowed me to transition to this new life seamlessly. They're all coincidences. All of it. Forget about the prayer of find a job as a waiter, get a job as a waiter, find a comedy club, and start posting videos online. Forget about that. Forget about the fact that thought came to your head, right, while you were praying, and you claim it's God. Forget about that for a moment, and let's just look at everything else about your life and just kind of be like, all right, coincidences. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It like, I mean, it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't. But like, come on, dude. Come on. It like I could go more and more in depth into it, but it's just like having the money to buy the van being there, the van being in good shape, the time that I quit my job, and then the lease. Like that's the other weird thing, right? Like I quit my job in January. My lease ends in September. So it's like I have just enough time. I have 8 months, just enough time to get a new job, start comedy, consider getting a van, buying the van, renovating the van, and then moving into the van before my lease is up. Like that was perfect timing, you know? Cuz it came down to the wire for me moving into Vanessa. Like it really did. It really did. I needed like 2 extra days to just clear out everything from the apartment. Um, After the lease was up, thankfully the lease manager was cool with me doing that. I'm just like, I just got to get everything out, like, and that was it. Then I went to Houston, took care of some things there, dropped some stuff off, and then I was in Vanessa. And it wasn't convenient at first, but I was like, in the long term, I'm gonna build her out and make her better. And here I am doing just that. So all of that just worked out perfectly by the grace of God. Are some things coincidences in life? Yes, absolutely. But in my life, people say speak your truth. My truth is that God is the truth. Jesus is the truth. And the more the more I give earnestly of myself to God, the more I see my life improve. And that's my truth. It really is. And it's not easy sometimes. It isn't, but if you have faith, as long as I continue to have my faith that God is who He says He is, that He is a good and righteous and merciful and loving God, and He blesses those to whom they willingly give their faith to Him and give Him praise, He in turn blesses them. That's God to me. So, no, I don't know how I end up in a house, and I don't know how I end up financially successful as a comedian, and I don't know how it's going to all come about. But I have faith in God that He will do what it is that He said He would do. And to some that sounds crazy, but I am living proof that His word is good. It really is. So, this life that I am living, this is who I am supposed to be, and I'm going to continue to be this person. And in that vein, following those mics on Sunday, Uh, I had a I had a series of bad mics, honestly. Um, Monday and Tuesday. There's the second thing I want to talk about. Um, it's also part of being a comedian, and that's that. Monday, I did two sets, and they didn't go too well, honestly. Like the first set, it was weird. It was weird. It's not even worth bringing up. The one after that, that was a bombing. Like that was bad. It was bad. It was bad. The I won't get into the details, but it was a rough set. And then Tuesday, first set, first set didn't really work either. Set after that, got into an argument with one of the audience members, so that didn't work either. So so I had four back to back to back to back sets of just not good outcomes. It was rough. It sucked. It really did suck. Um, and the set on Monday, it was the kind of set where afterward I was just like, oh my gosh, dude, like what am I doing? It's like what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? You know, it was the kind of set where it's so bad that like it brings doubt into your life. You know. But what was really cool was that two comedians after that, shout out to Jay Cookie and shout out to Cornelius. They actually went up on stage after I got off, and they started roasting the people who were heckling me, which was actually really nice. That was actually really really nice, and I laughed, and the audience laughed too, and that really raised my spirits. And then after that, I stood there and I talked with Jay Cookie. She's a comedian. Um, I talked with her for a good 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Not even just about comedy, partly about comedy, but also just about life and how we both ended up in comedy and everything like that. That was cool. That was a nice bonding moment. Um, but yeah, so two bombings on Monday, or a bad set on Monday, bombing, it was all bad. My point with all that is that then on Tuesday, no, not Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, after the bombings, I went to a coffee shop, I sat down, and I wrote more jokes, because that's all you can do, right? And I'm like, all right, taking everything that I've experienced up to this point, I'm going to try to write jokes with all of that in mind. And I went on stage Wednesday night, and the whole set wasn't great, but the first half was hilarious. The first half was pretty funny, honestly. The crowd was laughing, and I was laughing with them, and they're just like, "Wait, what?" I'm just like, "Hear me out. Just hear me out." And there's something to this material. I'm talking about this whole the United Healthcare CEO shooting. That's what I'm talking about. It's a very delicate topic I've found, and and I think I have an angle that is potentially really funny. So that material is what I'm going to be working on going forward, because as long as it's in the news, which it seems to be, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon, then that's going to be the thing that I'm trying to work out, and I'm happy with that. So that set, after I had that set, even though only the first half was really funny, it didn't end as strongly as it started. Um, I was driving, and during the drive, I was just like, yes, after the moment of like, oh, this is the life I'm gonna live, and then I have those consecutive bad sets. It's like then you have that one good set, not even a whole good set, but half a good set, and now I'm just like, okay, no, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. It just, I gotta get better. You know, I gotta get better. Um, Now's the other thing that was like substantial to me this week. Honestly, was yeah, that one half a good set is like they were laughing, I was laughing. Something about this is funny, and I just got to keep working at it. You know, so comedy's hard. It is hard. It it demands everything of you, and then some. Constantly, like if you're always funny, you're not doing comedy right, in my opinion. Like you're always funny. Every single joke you say is funny. Really? Are you writing? You know? Are you going up there and failing? Because the difference between a master and an amateur is a master has failed more times than an amateur. So if you're always succeeding, are you failing enough? You know? Now obviously you need a balance, but yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at. This went on a little longer than I intended, but oh well, you know, whatever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and like and subscribe.